Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm not sure which camera to look in, but yeah, welcome back. I think it's been 2 weeks since I posted the last YouTube, which was a wrap up from the season with Mark, speaking about the show, obviously achieving the Olympia qualification, and all of that stuff. But I thought I would jump on just to talk about my experience of post-show, where we're at, what's going on, what's happened in between, because I'm now 4 weeks post-show and a lot has happened. I've not had the time to jump on and do another YouTube video, so I think it's really important that I talk about the process of where I'm at and, you know, what's going on. Firstly, though, I know it's 4 weeks later. We've still got the belt here. And yesterday, as Mark was filming his own YouTube, he asked me to jump in. It was just a wrap up of his season. And I was just pouring my heart out, letting him know how much of an inspiration he's been to me. And he said, give me a minute. I thought he was getting emotional or something, but he then came back with this, which is absolutely amazing. And I had no idea that he was getting this made. So this is very, very, very special. And I can't believe he did it. A little story, before his show, he was super like run into the ground, tired, etc., as you would expect at the back end of a prep. And he kept on saying to me, I'm going to go to this place called Beaumont Leys, which is near us. I need to get travel money, etc. I was like, I can do it all. Like, why are you stressing about this? And obviously, little did I know, he wanted to do that because that wasn't actually what he wanted to do to get travel money. He wanted to get this sorted. So yeah, he's been keeping it obviously from me because we've been away for, I think we were away for 12 days, so a week before his show, and then we stayed in Alicante for a further 4 or 5 days after. And then, yeah, yesterday he felt like it was the right opportunity at the end of his YouTube to present me with this, which is just so special. And he's such a thoughtful person, and I'm super grateful. But with that, Mark has just competed. Where are we? He competed 7 days ago. 7 days ago he competed, literally to the day. And obviously you guys have heard me talk about him and his story and what he's gone through. If you want to know more, obviously do head over to his YouTube channel. But he defied the odds. He stepped on stage. It was incredible. It literally gives me goosebumps. You know, at 5 weeks out from his show, he was told, that's it, like his career is over. The operation that he was potentially going to have couldn't go ahead, and that was that. And with that, he decided that he needed to do one more show. The only show left was the one in Alicante that we've just got back from, which was on the 1st of December. And now it is the 7th of December. But yeah, that was literally the only show for men's open bodybuilding this year, and that was his final show. It's not the end. It is just not the end. He was amazing, absolutely incredible on stage. The amount of work that's gone into it, you've probably seen my Instagram posts and all of that kind of stuff. But honestly, I'll take this moment before I head into my part, just to say how proud I am and how he has really defied the odds against many opinions, self-doubt of his own, self-doubt from other people and all of that. So super proud for him. He placed 4th in a stacked lineup of 27. The class was actually bigger than the bikini class, which is crazy for a men's open class. But yeah, obviously we went there for the win, but to be honest with you, upon reflection, like the win is just defying odds and making it there. We know his journey is not over, and we know he will be making it to the Olympia. So that is just something that, you know, I am beyond, I literally cannot put into words how proud of him I truly am. So yeah, with that, my post-show kind of got pushed to the side, to be honest. So that's what I'm here to talk about with you guys today, just how the first 4 weeks of my post-show have been and what's been going on. So as I said before, I literally stepped off stage, was awake like 40 hours, got back in the car, got back, didn't unpack, cooked food, went straight out to physio with Mark. And then the next 2 weeks, because he was 2 weeks out at this point, was very much solely focused on Mark. So I had a week off of training, which initially I thought would just be enough, and then I could get back into things. But we had so many physio appointments, places to be, packing to get done, and everything like that. I did make it into the gym. I think I did 1 day on, 1 day off, which is my split. So I train glutes and hamstrings every other day with some delt top up, which I'll go into at another point about all of that. But as soon as we kind of, the weekend that we left for Alicante, so a week before his show, I just kind of hit a real wall, if I'm honest. Tiredness caught up with me, sleep had been really poor, and you guys know that I'm really big on having, like, you know, 8 hours minimum sleep and all of that stuff, and napping throughout the day and things like that got pushed to the side. I'm very big on my recovery in regards to having massage frequently. Actually, I have been having it recently every other day. So every other day that I don't train, that got pushed to the side. I think in the last 4 weeks, I've maybe had 2 massages only, which is, for me, that's not ideal at all. And that is a big part of my recovery post-show. Now, the thing is, Mark's goal is my goal at the end of the day, and what I needed to do was forget about me and just pour all of what energy I had into making him step on stage the best he possibly could be, which when someone's suffering from an injury, you know, prep's hard. The back end of prep is hard for anyone. So you have to, you know, give them a little bit of extra support and stuff like that. But for Mark, this was very difficult. There was a lot that went into this, with countless trips to physio, which were like, ended up being literally 6-7 hour round journeys. We then went to see Cuba, which again, 6-7 hour round journeys. So a lot of what I do for me kind of got pushed to the side. I allowed it, I accepted it. I knew this was, you know, a massive part of my goal this year was his goal. So that's that. Now we are 4 weeks post-show. You would expect me to feel somewhat recovered. But to be honest, like, today I'm 6 days away from what should be my cycle. I'm hoping it will return quite quickly. Normally I do get my cycle back from 4 weeks post-show. And obviously we've just kind of approached that, and I'm due on in around 6 days' time. But with that, I suffer, obviously, like I've said so many times, with PMDD, and having to navigate that, of course, around shows is hard. You can probably see it now, I'm not sure, but I feel absolutely exhausted. I did not want to film this today. I woke up and just blah to Meg. Again, just letting her know where I was at, and the kind of words that come out of my mouth is totally the opposite to what you would think, I guess. So it's, I can't be bothered. Like, I literally cannot be bothered. However, there's one quote that always springs to mind when I'm going through this, and that is, how I do anything is how I do everything. So even from the small things, like brushing my teeth, literally, having my supplements, drinking my water, making my lemon and ginger drink that I really, really hate. But I know it serves a purpose and helps my digestion, and all these obviously little things that I've just named here are just basic life things, but they are the things that I struggle with and struggle to do, and it basically feels like I'm in a depressive state. And yeah, and I think with PMDD being here, and obviously being 4 weeks post-show but not having any real time to put into myself to really like settle and be, I guess, and recover, it feels like I've just had a kind of double whammy effect, I guess, where everything kind of just feels like it's very much an effort, and it's very much hit me. Now, I have done my best to sleep and recover and everything like that. I've done my best. That's all I can do. From a body weight perspective, from a visual perspective, and everything like that, I had my first off-plan meal at just when Mark finished his shows, so that would have been 3 weeks post-show. I've adhered to my meal plan since. My body weight on stage was 55.1 kg. On Tuesday this week, my body weight was 53.8, so it's dropped a lot. My current expenditure, I have zero cardio, but steps have been a mixture of literally from like my standard 10 to 12k to sometimes reaching 22k when I've been running around in Alicante doing, you know, like everything I need to do, and then getting ready for travels with all the cooking and the preparing and stuff like that. So expenditure's been a bit up and down, and obviously so is sleep. My body weight today, with zero changes to anything, has shot up, as to be expected around this part of my cycle. It is 2.5 kg up from Tuesday, which is a massive shift. So I feel very watery and not great, to be honest. So that's where that's at, but that's just part of what I go through every month, and we kind of know that happens. So there's been no, you know, like binge or anything off plan. Like, I've not had anything off plan since Alicante. I've just been back to plan. I enjoy what I eat, and I want to have the best reverse possible. I know it's really important from a nutrients standpoint and a health standpoint, to be consuming nutrient dense foods, good quality whole foods, and I know that benefits me most in bringing my hormones back into normal range, and also just general health, you know. So that's really important to me, and I like to treat my post-show just as I do my prep. It's kind of just like, say, a lifestyle anyway. So that's where that is. I did, however, have in Alicante I think it was 3 or 4 days of just being, so to speak. But with just being, my body weight did drop because I have no food focus. My hunger's not high. My calories are 2,500 on a training day, and 2,200 on a rest day. Like I said, there's zero cardio. Training hasn't been great. To be honest, I've trained one set only. Obviously, I had the week off, and I went back. Then I had like a run of 4 days off, went back, then a run of 3 days off, and now I've just had like another 3 days off. So yeah, from a physique standpoint, that's not great, but I have followed my reverse plan. Apart from this big spike from hormones, there's been nothing really. I've just been sitting around my stage weight. So obviously assistance has been pulled. That's obviously no longer in. That hasn't been in for a good amount of time. I've not ever openly spoken about assistance, and this is something that I have thought about speaking about a lot, to be honest. And I'm not going to go into what I do, what I don't do, and all of that stuff, but I like to be super transparent with you guys. And when I've posted Q&As, this is something that is frequently asked of me to share, and why I lie and things like that. And I'm here to say that I've never lied, because I've never said I haven't, or I have been assisted or anything like that. I've just not openly said it. So I wanted to put that out there today, that yes, I am an assisted athlete. So it's not magic. Like, being assisted, you need to put in the work. I still do absolutely everything that I should and more, you know. So yeah, I did just want to put that out there today, because I do get some backlash and some questions on it. If people DM me, I do openly speak about it. But it's just not something that I want to go into great depths, because I do not want people to copy what I do or anything like that. So I think that's where, from that side of things, I will leave things. But obviously with that coming out, does have an effect on the body. My body does feel a lot flatter, a little less pop, obviously with training coming out and not being great, and only training with one set only. Obviously my physique does not look nice and full and bubbly and everything like that right now. I know that with me being back from tomorrow, back to full volume, given that I'm feeling okay, I know that everything will come back nicely. And I'm really proud that I've not, how do I say it, caused any, you know, damage to my physique in this phase by overeating or not eating to my meal plan, because like I say, training hasn't been great. Therefore, all I would have been doing is putting on pointless body fat. So I've also had that in the back of my mind as well. With regards to Alicante, when I had the 3 to 4 days off, I was consuming like 4 meals per day. My scale weight did drop lower than stage weight. Like I say, I'm not food focused or anything, so I don't struggle with that. I generally just choose protein sources and vegetables, and have a sweet tooth. So then I just would much rather spend my carbohydrates and fats on, you know, half a cookie or half a pudding or whatever, trying little bits and bobs with Mark. So yeah, no issues there. Whilst I was in Alicante on the lead up to Mark's show, clearly was going through quite a lot of stress, because I had massive digestive issues, even though I was completely adherent to my food plan. So we knew it wasn't anything to do with that. But I think the stress, not the stress, but like, well, I guess kind of stress, because there's obviously a lot to do and a lot to prepare. And obviously I'm constantly, you know, I was worried about the outcome. How is he going to be post-show? And all that kind of stuff. I just get general like anxiety, and I care for him a lot. So yeah, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but obviously I just had feelings that were inside of me deeply. And that did affect my body. It did affect my sleep. Even on one occasion, I could have sworn that he was knocking on the door because he needed something. And that woke me up. And then from that point I was awake. Went into his room, he's fast asleep. So my mind was just constantly like running on like anything that he needs, everything that he needs, like just to be there for him wholly and completely. So I wouldn't change any of that for the world. It's been, you know, both ways. He's supported me like endlessly, and I needed to support him endlessly because his goal's my goal and everything, you know. So yeah, but I do think that from a post-show perspective, I would have liked to have felt fresher by now, and it's kind of a bit of a fake one at this point as well, because given the fact that PMDD is here, like I say, like today, I generally just, like, it just feels like another month of another round of this, and it's just never ending. You know, I've tried all sorts, as you know, in my off season, with HRT and having the coil fitted, and there's just nothing that's really helped. There's not much research on it. It's just very low feelings, feel like depressed, don't want to get out of bed. In fact, I said to Mark this morning, the only reason I've got up today is because I want to do the meal prep and the things for you, and then because I'm doing it for you, I might as well do it for me. But truthfully, like, that's where my mindset is. So as much as I've achieved this huge goal and everything like that, I also said to Meg this morning that I have literally felt like pretty emotionless, to be honest, which is really strange. I am usually quite a, how do I put it? I have a lot of emotion. I cry easily and things like that. She said to me today, because when Mark gave me this yesterday, it was a moment that I know that I would usually like cry or have some emotion. You could see that he was like almost crying, but my emotions, especially at this point of PMDD, are just like grounded and just like almost like dead feelings, and that actually really like worries me. But I did speak to Meg, and she said, look, you've had a long prep. I haven't had my bloods done yet, but obviously things are probably not going to be great because of the duration of the prep. 7 shows, 11 weeks, a lot of fatigue, a lot of stress, a lot of high cortisol, a lot of running around, a lot of steps, little recovery, things like that. My bloods might be okay, but like I'm clearly not. So that, I guess, is potentially why. When Mark stepped on stage, it was one of like the biggest moments, the biggest win. It meant more to me than this, for a matter of fact. And every time Mark competes, I cry. And this time, as much as like I can't explain it, as much as it was huge and I was like, he's made it, oh my God, through God's grace, he's made it. Like, yes, I didn't cry. And it's really strange. And I wanted to share that because I don't know if anyone else sort of goes through that post-show. I don't think I've really felt it. I almost feel like something's wrong with me for not really having much emotion. And I don't know if that's because everything's been so overwhelming. I've achieved one of the greatest things that I keep getting goosebumps, so that's a good thing. One of the greatest things I've ever set out to do, obviously I've achieved, and maybe that hasn't sunk in. It hasn't sunk in, I can tell you that now. So maybe that's why that kind of doesn't really feel real. Don't really know where I'm going with any of this, to be honest. Like I said, I didn't even want to film it today, but I thought I would just sit here, let you guys know where I'm at. Please know that these low feelings that I'm going through always get, I think the word is exacerbated. Is that the word, Peter? Exacerbated. Something like that. Heightened. So I always call this version of me like the fake version. There are 2 sides, basically, which is just horrible. This is like the down me, the fake me, the sad me, the like depressed me, it's just not real me. It's not my normal like bubbly self. So I don't know if this even sounds quite like monotone or like I can't really be bothered to be doing it. But I don't know if I've filmed properly in a really deep state of PMDD and deep fatigue. So that's, yeah, like that's kind of where I'm at. I feel I feel guilty because I'm 4 weeks post-show. I've just achieved the Olympia dream. I should be thriving back in the gym, getting back to work, working on what we need to work on, which I'll talk through at another point. But I'm actually not. And that actually makes me feel like a huge sense of guilt. However, throughout my career, I've had times where I've taken time literally off for like 6 to 8 weeks, things like that, and it's never impacted me. I've always come back making progression, making changes, and always being a better version of myself. So I know that right now, if I was to push my body, or if we had pushed it in the last 4 weeks, then it would have been completely pointless. I would be feeling even worse, and so I think that's pretty much where I'm at. I know I've not yet shared really the feedback and the changes that need to be made for me to now step on stage prior to the Olympia, but I think what I'm going to do is wait until I'm in a better mind space where I can think properly and clearly, and take you guys along with me to see Meg, so we can really break things down and discuss where she's looking for me to go, what I'm looking at myself, and what we need to refine, and the areas we need to pull down. I briefly touched on it on social media on one of my posts if you have a look through. But yeah, this is reality of how things are for me. Today I know a lot of people struggle with post-show in different ways. I've not necessarily struggled in a way of like handling food, or binging, or like training through guilt or anything like that. My struggle has mainly been the fact that I feel like I've not been able to recover and get back into the gym doing what I usually love most. And I say usually love most because sometimes in this phase of PMDD, it's actually not always what I love most, and I do have to push myself very hard to do the things that require me to reach this goal, and that is not just on prep or at the back end of shows, that is year round. So whether I'm on contest prep or not, these feelings will never go. In fact, they get a little bit worse in my off season once my hormones are better in theory, because what this is not the fact that I have bad hormones, it's the fact that this is a disability and my brain can't handle the peaks and troughs of the hormones, and that's why I say in off season it can be worse when my hormones are in a better and more optimal spot, because those peaks and troughs are more. So like my dad once said to me, like, this is here unfortunately to stay. So prep or off season, it's here. You have to learn to manage it. I was going to end my prep way before. I wasn't even going to compete this year. And my dad said to me, what, you're going to go into off season and so it's going to be exactly the same. You're going to have these feelings. Unfortunately, this is just a way of life and you need to learn to deal with it. And that hit hard, and that is something that does remain in my mind all the time, that this is how it is, this is what I need to get through every single month. Obviously, that's a lot of my life because I get it for 2.5 to 3 weeks, to be honest. PMDD goes around day 3 of my cycle, so our bleed is on day 1. It goes around day 3, and then it comes back for me around day 14. So that is not a big window of normal Kerry. And even when I, like I say, have lost my cycle, it's still here. I still get phantom periods, so I get all of the symptoms just without the bleed. Yeah, I think, to be honest, that's all for today. I think that's all I can really think of. It took a lot for me to actually do this YouTube. It took a lot for me to even wash my hair today, and hence why I literally am sat here like this with wet hair, because I just didn't feel like getting ready, and I just thought, whatever, this is raw. So yeah, today is Sunday, the 8th of December. So today we have Mark's youngest, who is 8. We are just about to watch mine and Mark's YouTube channels with her, because she really wants to watch them. So that'll be nice. We're going to go out to Costa in a bit. There's no off-plan meals or anything this weekend for me and Mark. He's just getting into his post-show vibe now, sticking to his meal plan, seeing where his body settles. And I'm just doing my meal plan because, yeah, there's no other like events going on. Might add a splash of milk into my coffee or something like that. Been doing that, but other than that, yeah, just post-show to me is just prep, but a little bit more food. Everything else is just about the same. I think at another point what I might do is speak about some of the struggles that some of my clients have had and how to overcome them, and some of the struggles that I've been through personally in the past, and what I've learned, because I do believe that you need to learn through mistakes and learnings, and they're not really mistakes because we always learn, you know, something through them. And I've had some real awful post shows, but yeah, that's probably for another time, and that might be a little bit more of an insight into my background of where I've come from. I've lost count of how many shows I've done, so I've obviously had a lot of post shows now. So this one has actually been, I would say, the easiest one for me to navigate, to be honest. It just feels like any other day. As I say, the only hard bit for me has been the energy and not being able to kind of give back to my self, but I wouldn't change any of that. Like I said, Mark stepping on stage was the world to me, and what he thoroughly deserved by defying the odds. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. I think I've said that a few times. Hopefully you've taken something from this. Sorry if it seems like a downer, but it is just real raw and just kind of where I'm at. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. I'll be back with an update with Meg real soon, a Q&A with Mark real soon, and I'll be taking you through my off-season and how we plan to map things through. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.
Yeah, what's the weight drop since your show? 2 kg.
So my weight drop post-show, yeah, well, you can keep this rolling if you want. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah.
Where are we? It was the 10th of November. Show day weight was 55.1. And since then, I've seen a mixture of 54.5, 54, 54, 54.3, 54, 55, 54, 54.3, 54.3. Just a real mix of lows until this week. I saw 53.8 on Tuesday the 3rd. It is the 8th now. And today I'm 56.3 with no dietary changes at all. Literally symptoms of PMDD. This is what it does to me. It brings, I can't get my aura ring off. My body temperature's high, night sweats, sleep is awful. Energy just feels absolutely ground out. I always jump this high, so even when I'm at the back end of prep, we'll always see a scale increase, even heading into shows. We've had to manage things like this as well. So yeah, realistically, my weight hasn't changed from around show day, which was obviously 4 weeks ago. If anything, it's probably sitting a bit lower. We'll see once my cycle drops off. But we've had to make no changes to food because I've not been training. So again, if you just push calories up, like you know, I'm just going to gain unnecessary body fat, and that's not our plan this season at all. We want to be sitting within 6 to 8 weeks out. So yes, to answer Peter's question from behind the camera, I did see a drop this week, but it has picked up again, but only through hormonal changes. So we'll see where we're at. Should be back to training tomorrow, and then I guess we will begin to taper calories up if necessary, depending on where body weight goes. We will see. Over and out.